Hi everyone, and welcome to the WTBA Foundation Training Program for Baguazhang and Taijiquan. This training program is going to be very different from the usual MTG video style of learning that you're all used to, at least those of you who already follow me. So the best way to see how it will differ from the MTG video style of learning is to simply try it. So you can test it out, see what you feel from it, see if you like this way of learning in comparison to the MTG video style that I usually produce. The basis of it all though, the difference, is that the training is like a real class. It's an ongoing training course. You follow along with the lesson. You don't just watch a little bit and then go off and do your own training. You follow along with the whole class as if you were here with me doing a real live class. So the course will give you that constant guidance that you may need as you're practicing through the form. Rather than just practicing it on your own, hoping you're doing it correctly, as you're going through each movement in the form, you're following me along, you're having me in your ear and visually telling you, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. So I'll be following along, I'll be drilling the methods with you to give you the best chance of making sure that you're getting them right. So just try them out, see if you like them. That way you can decide whether you like this way of training or if you prefer my MTG video style of learning. With the course, I will be primarily focusing on the foundation principles of both Taijiquan and Baguazhang. As the course goes on, of course, a horse is a course, of course. Remember Mr. Ed? A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can speak to a horse. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to continue the course, for starters, just based on the foundation principles. So it's a foundations course, give you your groundwork for the styles that you're going to be learning. Now, what is groundwork? Where does your groundwork finish and your advanced principles start? Well, you know, that's a bit of a grey area. What's what kind of thing? You can't really say this is that and this is this. But I'm just going to keep the class going, assuming people register. I'm going to keep the classes going until I feel like, yeah, I think that's a really good, solid foundation. You should, from this point, be able to just go away and train in whatever you want to train in. The training will be primarily, well, really solely based upon solo training, because 90% of the people who will be following this course that you'll be training at home by yourself. This is your home training time. Most people don't get that much time when they can actually pair up with a partner. So all the lessons given here will be on the solo areas of your training. I will demonstrate the applications so that when you're doing a certain form or training method, you can visualize in your head, okay, there's the punch and there's the strike and so on. But I'm not going to teach the partner exercises in detail. To get the partner exercises in detail, that will still be on the MTG video side of your training. The other reason I've done it like this, even if you have a training partner, maybe you live with your training partner, for example, and you train with them every day. In theory, I could put those partner details down on these classes. However, for me, I feel that it's better for you, when you're working with a partner, to be focusing on your partner. So when you're working just by yourself with the forms, the qigongs and so on, you can be watching the video, following me along. Your attention is on what I'm doing, you see, as we're going through the motion, for hitting the bag, stuff like that. But when you're working with a partner, I don't want you both to be focusing over here, not paying attention to each other, you see, with a follow-along style class. I would much rather you watch an MTG video style where you just watch, sit there, watch, go, okay, let's just work on that principle, and that principle. Okay, let's try that. Now you're working with each other, feeling and sensing through each other. That's more important. So that's the main reason I've chosen not to teach the partner exercises throughout this course. You buy the MTG videos for that area of your training. Now keep in mind, even if you're not a beginner, if you've already been training for quite some time, this course may still be greatly beneficial to you. I've really enjoyed making the course. I've finished the first 3 weeks now. I finished filming it, and I have loved doing it myself because it's so good for you at any level to go back and go over the absolute core basics of the style that you're practicing. Yeah, sometimes you can get a little bit lost in the advanced principles, and going back and doing it for yourself, not just showing it to something, hey guys, just do this, but feel it and go over those total beginning states on your own in your class, in following this class, and revisiting those basics will enhance then your advanced principles. And I've done it so many times throughout my own training. I've been working on more advanced principles, then every few years I go back to doing my forms, whichever ones they are, and going back to complete core basics. After having practiced those for a while, I then go back and start integrating my advanced principles back in, and everything's so much more connected because I've worked on my base more. I've corrected everything. I've retuned the whole hub that everything comes out of. So yeah, I highly recommend basically that everyone actually follows this course. If you're an advanced practitioner, you may follow it a little faster than if you're a total beginner. So effectively, these classes will be your training, as opposed to, as I said, the MTG videos where you'll just watch a little bit and then go off and practice for the week and then come back and learn a new move kind of thing. These classes will be your training. So doing a 1 hour class of this course will be 1 hour of training, not 1 hour of watching a video. Having said that, it's also good to switch off from the video every now and again and do what you know. So I would recommend, not right in the beginning because you don't know anything yet, you just need like 2 movements or something. But once you know a certain amount of one of the forms that you're learning, let's say, I don't know, you learn the first palm change of the Bagua form. So you follow along in class, listening, going over the different principles that I'm telling you about. But then you might also, either at the end of the class or you might do it later in the afternoon, just then go through the form at your own pace so that you're purely feeling from within. You're not having some external source poking you in the ear and trying to look at the screen. So it's always good, I would recommend, to do your individual sort of practice of the postures with the course. So you're getting that tuition as you're learning. Whereas when you want to flow through the whole form, go and do that yourself. We will do that in the forms, in the classes as well. Some classes, I might not teach you new stuff. We might just go, right, today we're going to do revision. We're going to run through the whole first third of Yang Luchan's form or the whole first 3 palm changes of the Bagua form. We may do that from time to time so that you can go through the form flowingly without stopping, but also with some guidance. So I'll be just yelling out a few cue points as to things you should be focusing on. But even with that, I would recommend that you also, as you go through, with each chunk of the forms that you learn, to do a little bit of training on your own as well. Now, all the classes are made up of what I believe are the foundation principles. So you've got things like your main form, your fighting form, your bag work, your Qigong, things like that. If, however, you as an individual purely want to do just the slow form and Qigong, well, that's fine. I recommend you do everything because everything aids each other. By understanding the fighting form, it will help you understand the slower form and so on. But it's your choice. If you really feel like you only want to do just slow form, or you may only want to do the fast forms and so on. Then obviously you just, watch the slow form part of it, and then when I start teaching the fast form, just finish or repeat it again or something. So you can obviously just cut off that part of each lesson. But yeah, it is my recommendation that you do both, because both the martial and the slow stuff aids each other. Now, you may not want to become a full-on martial artist and punch and kick people, but understanding those movements will help your form. So by doing your martial practice, even just at a very soft level, you don't have to get really martial and fight people. You just have to understand the martial in order to get the maximum benefit from your health meditation side of things. So I hope that's given you a rough idea of what this course is going to be like as it goes along. And I feel myself like my students learning from this will learn better than learning from the MTG videos. Again, it's up to you entirely. You might be the type of person who likes to do everything in your own way. You like to time things and do this amount of this and this amount of that, in which case the MTG videos may be better for you. But if you want my guidance through your training, telling you how much of each thing to do and so on, I think you'll really enjoy these classes. And yeah, I hope that you will get a lot of benefit from it. And as I say, I really like the way of learning, so I'm hoping that you do as well. So anyway, thank you very much. try out your Bagua and your Taiji, and let me know your thoughts. Good stuff, guys.